Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for Philosophy 201. Gee, I had to think a second. Introduction to Philosophy. Um, this is week 2, and the date today is August 26th. So by now, you should have gone through the Start Here module and read all of the information on every page, and taken the information and syllabus quiz and introduced yourself in the introduction discussion. So now we start the material of the class in Module 1. And so Module 1 covers a few weeks, and we are in the subdivided Module 1.1. Okay, so Module 1 in general, kind of in its entirety, is titled Self, Mind, and Body. And this is the area of metaphysics, which you're going to learn more about. But this particular week, in Module 1.1, we are going to think about the question, do we have an essential self or soul? And, that's kind of that perennial question of a soul. And, in a lot of Western philosophy, the assumption, especially the early philosophers, the assumption was that there was a soul, that all humans had a soul. Whereas, later as the years went by, philosophers really began to question that. So we're going to think about that in this module. Does the soul exist? And if it does, what is it like? What is its character? So you are going to read. I've chosen 3 readings from our textbook, Traversing Philosophical Boundaries. The first reading is by John Locke. The second reading is it's actually from Buddhist scriptures. It's called The Questions of King Milinda on the Self. And then the third reading is by David Hume, and that is titled There Is No Personal Identity. So what you have there are 3 views of this issue of the soul. So I hope you enjoy. And it is important that you do all 3 readings, okay? Because otherwise you're not really going to get the whole picture, okay? So that's critical, all right, that you do those 3 readings. And another thing I should talk about are the modules. So we're just starting out in our class, and I just want to re-emphasize the importance of how you do this class, and the importance of doing the class through modules. Okay, so when you come into our class, I probably talked about this in my last announcement, but I'm going to say it again, is you want to go to the left side menu and click on modules. Okay, and there you want to progress through our class page by page. Okay, so that's how it's set up to work in our class. So don't just go straight to the discussion or to the quiz and get it done, because you're going to miss out on a lot of other information. All right, so for this week, in terms of your assignments, you have a practice quiz, which the practice quizzes are open book and open note. You do get a grade, and that does go towards your final grade, but they are open book and open note. That is due on the 28th of August, which is Wednesday. All right, and then you also have a discussion on this module and on the topic. And so the way that works is the final due date is August 30th, which is Friday. But what you want to do is, and what you're required to do, is to post your response to my questions 48 hours before the due date. So that would be on Wednesday, the 28th of August. Okay, so once again, on Wednesday, that's the date by when you want to post your responses to the questions that I ask in the discussion assignment. And then by Friday, the 30th, that is when you need to post your 2 replies to classmates. Okay, so you have to post a reply to 2 classmates in the class. Okay, and make them meaningful. Okay, so in the past, sometimes students think that if they just reply with great post or I totally agree, that's going to cover it. But that doesn't really create a conversation. Okay, and so what we're after in these discussions is for you to have a conversation with your classmates. Um, we would do this in a face to face class, all sitting together. We would talk about stuff, but we can't do that online. Um, so this is kind of, the next best thing. So make your posts that you submit to your classmates, meaningful. So in other words, what does that mean? You talk about the material. Okay, you address something that they have said about the material and talk about that. Okay, and of course, use the rules of etiquette. You want to be respectful, even when you disagree with someone. You do that in a respectful way. No personal attacks ever. Okay, that's not allowed. That we don't do that. But always talk about the material. Okay, so that's how to do discussions. There are instructions, written instructions on how to do discussions, so make sure that you read that as well. Okay, so that's what's going on for this week. And I guess that's it. I mean, enjoy the class, enjoy the readings. I think this is a really interesting subject. It's one that has been asked for thousands of years. Um, and we're probably not going to come to an answer. Okay, we're probably not going to solve the riddle, but at least we can have our own conversation about this subject based on the readings that I've given you. All right. Well, I hope you have a good week. And again, if you have any questions or need clarification on anything, please send me a message through the inbox, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. All right, so I'm looking forward to it. Oh, and by the way, I will be grading your introduction discussions this week also. Okay, so we are jumping into the class now. Okay, so have a good week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.